You guys, we are live. And Papa don't take no mess. I want to show y'all how live we are. Watch this. Watch this. Can y'all see? Come on in. Come on. Baby, we live. Go ahead. You can go on. Come on. They can see. This is the life we live. Come on in. Papa don't take no mess. You see? He said, come on in. This is how the live foolers do it. We don't have no script. Then you got 4 minutes to get the groceries out the car. Papa don't take no mess. Papa trying to get the groceries in. Papa trying to do the go to the grocery store. Papa trying to get the his prescriptions in. Papa done went and got his brakes done on his car. Papa done took Mama Bishop. Call myself Mama Bishop. Y'all help me. We done went to breakfast. I done got my car serviced. In fact, they gave me a loaner, Mini Cooper, new Mini Cooper, so I can just drive around. I done had 2 new Mini Coopers. They trying to get me to buy this car, y'all. Y'all fix my car and give me my car back. That's paid for. How about that? And Fuller just paid off his Mini Cooper. So we go keep our cars. We go keep our cars. Huh? Y'all was Fuller having a conversation with me, and I'm trying to be live. Y'all, we got a good one. Tell your folks. Tonight, we got our guest extraordinaire. Y'all know my boy Terence. Not only does he bring some good information, but look here. Ladies in the house. Okay, I'm sorry, TC. My boy is fine. He look good. He all that, y'all, from a business perspective. He got his stuff together. Now, y'all can come be trying to holler at my boy and bring no mess. Because Papa don't take no mess. Him either. Y'all hear that? No mess. Oh, and by the way, Facebook, StreamYard, all of the people that are listening in, y'all, music don't belong with us. Now, we got it for our God for this show. We have claimed it as our theme music because Papa don't take no mess. Look, here go Fuller coming up in the house. Oh, he's doing all right, you guys. He bringing in groceries. So we came in a little bit early, like we always do. Hi there, you guys. How's everybody doing? Had a great weekend. Ha! Let me see what James is saying. Oh, did y'all hear what he said? I don't think y'all heard James Brown. James Brown said, Papa don't take no mess, but when we did wrong, Papa beat the H out of us. I didn't know James said that. He said, Papa don't take no mess. Y'all, they wrote some songs back in the day. Let me see what James, what you said? No, baby. Baby, bring the groceries. You send them right there. People need to see that we live normal lives, and oftentimes we mask it with making everything pretty. Ain't that right, TC? And life ain't pretty like that. You guys, it is 6 o'clock. Welcome, everyone. And if you're joining, and I know I got my crew that watches from the background, and we may not see a post from you or a comment, but I just want you to know we're glad to see you tonight. And we're going to get started. Papa Bishop, my baby, Special K, Fuller, he is coming in the house. He is bringing in groceries. So I ordered some groceries only because I was sitting around yesterday and somebody was talking about ordering some groceries through Instacart. And I was like, you know what? I haven't done it in so long. I can't get to the grocery store. Let me order my groceries too. So my baby got his time. I see Jack messing up some stuff. Fuller went and got the groceries. So you see his hands. back there bringing in the groceries. This is the life that we all live, that where we are super busy. I know Miss Norma Hayes is over there trying to cook dinner. Oh, speaking of which, what y'all cooking for dinner tonight? Y'all see the red pot over there? Let's see where my hand go. Red pot right there. I'm making gumbo because Paige said, Mama, will you make some gumbo? So I got a little seafood gumbo, even though I told y'all I'm a little bit allergic to shellfish now. I don't even know how. I don't know how I got allergic to shellfish, but I am. But I'll eat a little bit. So in any event, you guys, welcome to GodFidence. It is now 6 o'clock. And you know, I've got to keep this moving today because I have orchestra practice. And so I'm not going to miss practice tonight because I want my boy. I started talking about him. Y'all, where did I leave off? My friend TC, he is fine. He look good. He is a businessman. He drive this fat car. Let me get off of here and have TC to talk about his own self, because that's the one thing I will tell y'all. TC like to talk now, so y'all not gonna hear me ask no questions. I don't have to ask anything. I don't even prepare when TC come on because he take the whole show. So with that, let me pop in my friend. What you doing?
I'm done with you, Dar. I'm done.
You know, we talking about you because you can't say nothing until I pop you into this screen.
I'm done.
Look, we're on the patio, on our virtual StreamYard patio.
Right.
So I'm glad you got you some water because it's a little cold, a little warm outside. And y'all see our friend in the background doing what he do. Papa don't take this working. Coming in.
Honey-do list.
Honey-do list.
That's
Looking
it.
good, man. You're looking good.
What's good? What's good, sir?
All is good.
Y'all see Fuller, what your hat say?
What is that?
Black Atlanta crackers.
Black Atlanta crackers.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. That sounds like an oxymoron. Like, what the what?
That was a group.
Look,
That was a baseball team, right?
It's the historical black baseball.
Baseball. Right.
Early mid 60s.
Wow.
They had a semi-pro baseball team. They didn't have, because the original Atlanta Braves are the Milwaukee Braves.
Oh.
So they moved from Milwaukee to Atlanta. But before they moved to Atlanta, they had this white professional team called the Atlanta Crackers.
Hmm.
And that was white, all white. And then they had an integration came, but at the same time, they had the Black Atlanta Crackers.
I'm done.
So they had an all-black team. You know, they had the Birmingham Bombers.
Oh, my God.
No, Birmingham Barons, the Kansas City Monarchs. I forgot what the New York team
Ain't nobody had no black crackers, huh?
No.
You talking about, like you said, is that a rhetorical? There ain't no question. It's a oxymoron. Go figure.
I'm not scared. Hey, I'm not scared, TC. I'm not scared.
I see.
So, you know, I started this conversation this afternoon. TC had just TC been in the background sitting chilling for a little bit, and then I asked everybody what they was cooking tonight, trying to get everybody on. I was telling them I was making some gumbo, got it on, and then Miss Norman come popping in talking about she making some smothered pork chops. You better go ahead on and invite somebody over. We talking about you making some smothered pork chops. My God, anybody else cooking something good tonight? Well, we got something good that we're cooking, right?
Right.
With TC.
Yes.
My boy said, looking good, got his hair all trimmed and dark and got a little color on and let the
he put a little color in it, you know. I thought, gonna do a little something, but I ain't mad at that crack.
Oh, yeah, you see,
it's just a repetitive thing, you know. I just go from a little darker to that salt and pepper, and then if you want to do a little something, that's cool. But I ain't got no problem with it. Trust.
I don't have no problem, bro.
Well, look out, real quick, we're gonna do some shout outs. Hey,
Chrislyn. Whatever works, man.
So I see folks are joining in. We got Rose coming in, Renelda and Chrislyn and Miss Norma, and I saw Gwen, I saw Linda, and hey, my goodness, you guys! I know there's a lot of people joining, so we can't stop right now. We got to keep going, right?
Say, Kristen, she running your dad all over the place. I just unloaded the car with groceries. Had a trunk full.
Yeah. But Papa don't take no mess.
She working your dad hard.
Yeah. Papa don't take no mess now, but Papa still got honey-do list to do. Right. Okay. So, but Terence, TC.
Yeah.
How are you?
I'm good. I really am. I'm good, and I'm getting better every day. And now I'm getting better every year.
Oh,
So it's been a journey, right?
it's been a journey.
I,
Take us back. Take us back for a little bit.
yeah, I still don't wish it on no one, but if you have to be here, there are some ways of getting through. And so, for those that don't know the story, I lost the love of my life back in December of 2022, Constance, and
Oh,
so. For those that are, of course, a part of World Changers, everybody knows her face. I was always referred to as Constance's husband,
right.
reminding that she took my last name, but
Right.
I'm okay with that. And yeah, it was traumatic in every sense of the word. And I had to remind myself, you're not the first to go through this, and you won't be the last. Although I felt like, oh my God, how could this happen to me? So the journey began, with my girls and I, having to literally rebuild our lives. And it literally was one day at a time, and it still is.
Mhm.
Lots of things have transpired. The girls are doing really good. Baby girl graduated college and is about to get her big girl job, and truly make me an empty nester. So
Ugh.
she's still here with me, and that's a bittersweet moment. Some days I want her to go, and other days I want her to stay.
Uh-huh.
But I'm okay. I got my big boy draws on, and I'm ready for that. Being in this big house by myself, sort of journey as well. So, but most importantly, we are still close as a family. I've made that our business to not drift, yet give each other the space that we've needed to process. Grieving is very different for each person. And I think we've done a pretty good job with that. Summer's coming up. We normally take annual family trips together, and this year will be no different. We'll figure that out. Um, and yeah, like I said, I'm just one day at a time and doing my best to reflect on the positive things about my wife versus the losses. I know for so long, every time I thought about her, it just mentally crushed me because I thought about the loss. And one of the things that I've learned through some good professional counseling, which we're going to talk about, is how to navigate that and flip that around and really begin focusing on the positive things that the person left in your life and the gratefulness of having them for so long. We were married 40 years. Not many people get to say that. I married my high school sweetheart, and we had a journey, and so how can I be, completely upset and depressed every time I think of her? There's too many great times for that. So I've had to just retool my thinking, and that is beginning to help me in terms of just moving forward and figuring out this new thing called life. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I tell you,
I
you've done a good job, just on the outside, right?
Yeah.
So we talk, and
Yeah,
from a
thank
person.
God I don't look like what I've been through, right? You've heard that thing.
Terrence, I'm not going to put you on the spot, but I want to kind of do a quick little, I guess, blurb or shout out for our man of God, Pastor Dollar. Yesterday, he taught on being, I don't know what the exact title.
The purpose of discomfort, being discomfort.
Ooh, the purpose of being discomfort.
Man, that's powerful.
Uncomfortable. When life situations come up, from whatever it may be. Why did it happen to me? Why did I lose a loved one? Why did I lose a job? Why did this person walk out of my life? How did I miss out on this business opportunity? Because God is trying to grow you up.
Yep.
For the next season of your life.
Right.
Yeah.
And a lot of things happen in our lives to cause you to be discomfort, because you're not discomfort, you won't make that move. So God can force your way out or force your way into some things. So he talks about the advantage. We don't want to be discomfort. We always want to be confident and everything is great and everything is tiptoe to the tulips and good music, but it's not always like that. We had a private conversation Saturday morning before the men fellowship, Pastor Dollar, Pastor Ken, and myself. And we was talking about grief, the things we're dealing with now. And we said grief is love having nowhere to go.
Wow.
Grief is, man, I mean, he said that. I said, oh my God. Oh my God. Says grief not having, grief is love having nowhere to go. And man, we talked about that. And the remedy to grief is being grateful. What you just said, being grateful. Think about the things that Connie and yourself enjoy together. The three of us were talking because the three of us is very close, and our wives are very close. And we just talking, and we start talking about my late wife, Jean, and all the teared up but not teared up because we were sad. We started talking about how funny she was.
And it was,
she said. And then we just laughing and crying at the same time, you know. So it was, you know, it was therapeutic again because you know I'm still going through the process at different times. The good part about it, I have Darlene here who has experienced the same thing, and we can talk about it. You know, we can really engage, and she's totally understand.
So as you guys are listening in tonight, I just want you to put a 1 in the chat if you've experienced or know somebody that's going through something mental or just, you know, just going through life and need some help and could definitely use this information that Terence is going to share tonight. But just put a 1 in the chat or just say, yeah, me too. And life is not easy. And we saw that just this past weekend. I don't know what happened with the American Idol young lady, Medusa, who I watched for years, and she was on the show. And she mentioned about, you know, well, not she, but she passed away, 47 years old. They found her in her apartment or her house. So we don't know what happened. We just assume, I have to assume, because there was nothing else that they mentioned, that it had to be something. And they talked about how she struggled with, you know, depression and mental anxiety and all of those things. And so, but people, as Pastor talked about last night, they're going through things. And Terence, look, we went through the death of a spouse. And if we can go through the loss of a spouse, people could work through some of the other things, but it's the mind.
It's the mind.
It's a dangerous thing. It's a dangerous thing.
It's a dangerous thing. You know, it brings me to, you know, the topic that we kind of wanted to touch on tonight, which was the true value of seeking out professional counseling in these areas. You know, you've heard the saying, you are what you eat. There's truth to that, but from a mental perspective, you are what you think. You are what you think.
Yep, that's right.
And so, just like I was saying, my ability to function very differently now comes from changing my thinking about the loss of my wife. There was a time when a photo of her crushed me. And it was the way I was thinking about it. All I thought about was the loss. All I thought about was the new meaning of never. I never understood never. Until you lose someone, and to think, and I'm not talking about in the spiritual realm, in the physical realm, you will never see this person again.
That's
so it took on a different word for me, a different meaning for me. And I had to literally capture those thoughts and begin thinking about that differently. And as I thought about it differently, I changed. I was able to function. I was able to think about life very differently, especially forward life, because there was nothing forward. I couldn't see myself forward without her. And so counseling is what did that for me. And so I want to share some of what has really made the difference in my family's life. And this is not just about losing a spouse. This is about our mental health in general. I will say this, it is known, and anybody want to be mad about it, be mad. Black folk are the worst at getting professional counseling. We're the worst at getting it, and we're the group that needs it the most. We're still dealing with 400 years of slavery, and don't nobody want to talk about nothing outside the house. Don't talk about my business. Don't this, that, and the other. And you're sitting inside the nest, dysfunctional people trying to solve a complex issue that you can never solve. And so I know firsthand that counseling, not only for myself, but my daughters, each of us have our own counselors. Now, we've been believers in counseling long before the event. 20, 30 years we've used counselors. I come from a medical family, so medical things and the knowledge of medicine in general, be it psychiatric or psychologist, and the difference is really one can administer medicine and one really just helps with the mental capacity. But these people have studied the mind and they've studied the mental health, and unfortunately we seek them out less than we should. And what saved my family and continues to keep us together is the fact that we were engaged in just healthy counseling long before this happened. And we knew how to use those resources when it did. So I know a lot of people think you need a counselor when something's wrong. No, you need a counselor just to do this thing called life.
Yeah.
All kinds of stuff going on, especially in a marriage where you've got two imperfect people trying to exist in a perfect union for life.
And you're saying you guys were married for 40 years and y'all still need a counselor?
Absolutely. So we started counseling 25 years ago.
Wow.
And went through, I think in that 25-year history, 3 different counselors. At times you outgrow someone. Or for me, what would happen is, depending on what kinds of things were going on in our marriage, I sought counselors who had specialties in that area, right? So, it could be communication, it could be intimacy, it could be whatever. There are people who have made it their practice to study to solve for those things. And so absolutely, marriage is not about getting a counselor to stop you from getting divorced. Marriage counselors are about keeping your marriage together and healthy as you go through just the process of marriage. Marriage is not a joke. And, although it's all lovey-dovey in the beginning, everybody in it knows that, get that thing about 4 or 5 years, you're going to wake up a couple of mornings and look over and go, why don't you just leave? You know what I'm saying? You're going to have some of them days like, ugh.
Truth, tell the truth.
It's real. And if you ain't done it, you're lying. You're going to have some days when you just go, ugh. That's marriage.
I'm up here looking over at Philip because he laughing too hard.
Y'all ain't there yet.
I'm not, that's right. Tell them we're not even there. We don't plan to get there. But I'm reminiscing.
That's right. You do 40 years and you have some days where you go, ugh. And some people out there done less than that and you're doing it. Right. That's a part of it. It's not, that's not a bad thing. That's a part of it. We're human. And so I sought out counseling for us on multiple times. We had different types of counselors. So a lot of that is about agreeing to the kind of counselor, because sometimes your issues are cultural, meaning I need a Black person to counsel me. This white guy is brilliant, this and that and the other, but you don't get the culture. So you seek out a professional Black person because there's some cultural things that you need to bring into the story. And a white person who's not lived it can't relate to it. I heard Denzel Washington the other day talking about a movie, and they were talking about why certain directors are needed versus others. And he said this. He said, because this particular movie was about culture. He said, culture is the fact that what a hot iron in some hair smells like. Wow. See,
right.
It's some black hair. Know what a hot iron on a live stove with fire that gets bushed off, and then somebody get their hair pressed back in the day. Right. You know what that smells like. White people don't know what that smells like. That's not a knock on them. That's a cultural thing. Right. So there are cultural things that come up in our marriage, in our life, to where our selection of the counselor might be based on ethnicity. There are other times when it might be, I need an expert in this area. Some of that choice also may be tied to the person's affiliation with religion. I've always warned people to not seek out a professional counselor just based on whether or not he's a Christian. Another big mistake. Christians are people, y'all. Fallible humans like anybody else, broken like anybody else. The title Christian don't make it okay.
That's right.
That doesn't mean that he's and that's great. That's a bonus. But first, has he studied in the areas of the needs that you have, and can he really navigate you? So it's just like, would you go to the dentist to have him tell you about your car? You would not. You would go to an auto mechanic about the car. You would go to the dentist about your teeth. And so you want people who specialize in these areas. The other thing, once again, a little bit taboo, don't mean no harm. Your pastor is not always the professional that you need to navigate counseling at certain levels.
That's true.
They can do many things, and some of them I think Pastor Dollar does have a background in this particular area, which makes him a double threat. But many pastors don't, and so there is nothing wrong with seeking out spiritual guidance, but it shouldn't stop there. Then you should basically be looking at more intricate things that are happening inside the marriage or individually, and seek out people who specialize in that.
As you were saying, I counsel just about every day with pastors. Most of the time I'm counseling pastors, unless there's a special referral and they want me to do a member. And it's many times I say, you need professional help. Yeah. I've reached my capacity being able to counsel you and guide you. So we need professional help. So I seek out a Christian. We know some Christian counsel that specialize in the area, and that's my first choice. But if I have to go outside, I tell them definitely get a professional. Y'all need professional help.
Yeah. So, but what happens is, and you guys, I am no expert. I think just for
neither am I.
Right. Just for listening to TC, Edison, and to Fuller as well, is that sometimes, and I'm just making an observation, sometimes we don't seek out the professional counseling because it costs something. It costs us something. Sometimes we're looking for free. Yeah. Actually, we need to be looking for what is it that we need, and then pay for it. Absolutely. Just like you would go shopping and you want to pay for the best. Yep. You got to pay for the services that you're looking for. Otherwise, you get free. You don't know what you may end up with. And I'm not saying anything is wrong with our pastors. I mean, we already just said that, right? Yeah. We just said go for the professional, and they do cost.
But I've had people that could not afford to pay for professional counseling.
Right.
What I referred them for, normally if you go to the largest Baptist church, but it's going to be white, normally, if you go to the largest Baptist church, they have people that are professional, have all the degrees in counseling and counseling, whether it's natural counseling and spiritual counseling. Right. I like somebody able to do both, Right. So I tell them normally some of them live in small towns, some of them, I said, go to the next city over. You don't want the people in the city that know your business.
That's
so
right.
You go to another big city and go to the largest, second largest white Baptist church over there, and they have professional staff.
So I'm going to point this out. And let me just add this too. You guys that are listening, whether you're white, black, we're not promoting black over white. The audience here primarily is an African-American base, right? But we do have other people that listen in. So when we're talking to our folks that we know sometimes.
TC made that plain though, culturally. Some things
are cultural. Yeah.
Right. And so, but Miss Norma mentioned, she says, good counselors are not easy to find. So Miss Norma even asked me who TC was using for his therapist. And that counselor has received so much other clients now that they are booked up, right? So fine.
You reached out to him, because he's that good. Yeah. And I found him on, I think the website is Psychology Now.
Okay.
I think it's a great site. You can go, you can filter by the issues that you're dealing with. They have both psychiatrist and psychologist. And again, the difference is a psychiatrist can prescribe medicine. Yeah. So you might be dealing with anxiety and some other things that are spilling over and causing a lot of situations. And so, this is a place where you can kind of get exactly what you need based on your situation.
So once you went to that website, how did you know who to choose?
So it just depends. As I mentioned, we've had 3 different counselors over those 25 years or so that we were using counseling. Each time we felt like we had hit a brick wall, there would be a particular issue. So I would go and seek out counselors that might have specialties in those areas. Again, it could be, what if it was like, we still just can't get this communication thing together? Then you want to seek out someone that, and it'll say in their bio, specializes in, marriage communication, sexual health, They'll list out some little specialty areas that they're in. I'll share with you, this last counselor, Constance, specifically told me she wanted a Black male counselor.
Okay.
She thought it would be good for me to bounce off a brother, and it was. Yeah. I had never had a Black counselor, So, and we had three. Actually, we had four. I'll tell you and this is why I got this. The very first counselor I ever used, which is 25, 30 years ago, it was strictly off of some Christian recommendations. We wanted a Christian counselor.
Terence, stop doing your head like this. Because you're like, they failed.
And that's all I'm going to say about that. That's it. I should have said, do you even have a degree in here? My first experience strictly going off of, she's a Christian. I did no other research. What is your background? What's your degree in? What are your she's a Christian. She's saved. Okay, she good. She got us. The world.
Boy,
you didn't get close to the screen.
Boy, you need to go back. You need some help.
I still want my money back. That was about 30 years ago. I want my money back. But it made me approach it. It made us approach it differently and said, okay, look, this is not just about that. We need the full suite of skills here in order to address the issues that we were concerned with. So each time we decided, and we would have a counselor for many years, 5, 6, 7, 8 years at a time. And then, like I said, sometimes, in life, you just kind of outgrow them and you go for a different flavor, but they've been extremely helpful.
So last question, Terence, we've got 2 more minutes.
Okay.
And that's been quite helpful tonight. On that same website, is it just the Georgia counselors, or they have by state?
You can go by state, because I made a recommendation to some nephews of mine in Ohio, and they were able to just choose on Ohio, and then you can do different filters, and you can filter location. You don't want to drive 50 miles away. You can find things in your own area. Yeah.
Okay, awesome. So we have now about a minute and a half. Terence, wrap it up or share with us anything that maybe just people need to hear just on the journey, whether it's counseling, whatever it may be that you'd like to share on this path that you are continuing to be on.
Yeah. And as with all of us in our own ways, I will simply say that the last year has, as you can imagine, been completely life altering for me. One of the things that I learned in it is that never be so comfortable in your life that you don't prepare for the unexpected. And, we did that to some degree. I could never have thought that my wife would leave before me. And so it does pay to at least run some of those scenarios. The other thing that I've learned in all of this is just how precious every day is. What's gotten me through the depressive days was waking up in gratitude every day. We say that. I hope most of us do it. It becomes a lifestyle for me after this, because it's the only way that I defeat the depression is by living all day long in thankfulness. Everything. Lord, thank you for the water. Thank you for my phone. I just get ridiculous with it and spend an entire day thanking God for every single thing in my life. And before you know it, your day is full of gratitude. And even things that you're like, I didn't even think about that. He'll bring things to you that you might have forgot. That was me too. And then you get another level of gratefulness out of it. So live in gratefulness. Wake up every day, live your absolute best life right now, because tomorrow, I say this a lot, tomorrow's not promised. We've heard that, right? Yeah, I hear you. Yeah, the math says tomorrow you're probably going to wake up. But if I say next year's not promised, that thinks a little differently, right? So just know that you ain't going to always be here. And while you're here, enjoy yourself to the fullest, all of life on purpose, as my wife would say.
Yes, well, awesome. So you guys, we enjoy. What Fuller want to say something to you, TC? I
just want to ask him to come back next week.
I will.
Okay.
Because we just be feeling like we're sitting on the patio porch,
right? Yeah,
like we are talking to TC.
I
should just come over there. How about I come over there?
You come over here too.
Yeah,
come over there.
We just well, look. I don't have no room for you on the seat. I don't know what couch you're gonna be on.
I stand on y'all's shoulder. We'll make it work. We'll make it work.
Yes. And so, TC, thank you so much for joining. I got a last comment from Renelda. Renelda says, you know, this is so good. Thank you, the Fullers and myself and you for sharing, because you know we don't have to share all of our personal lives, but we do because we care about people. And you know, it seems like it's more people that go through, you know, the daily things.
And what you ended with is the cure for grief: gratitude.
Gratitude.
That's the cure for grief. So we got a lot to talk about next week, man.
Yes, sir.
I'm excited about it, and I'm sure the audience really enjoying it because this is really good life lessons, and somebody says a good teaching, but it's an impartation. Yes. This is really an impartation and an eye opener. So I'm blessed for you to be my friend and come on and be with us.
Yes. And so next week, you guys, guess what? We get a little bit more TC, and then you know, Terence always got something to talk about. So we may not even talk about counseling.
We can put some topics.
We got something to talk about.
We're gonna have Doc Layden sometime in the near future, and my spiritual cousins Ernest and Meek Fuller from South Carolina. Gonna have them in here. So he's so silly, man. We're gonna laugh. We're gonna make us laugh. We're gonna have some fun. He's a jokester. And so I'm looking forward to those comments.
So look, you guys, stay tuned for next week. Please invite other people. Okay, Psychology Now. Is that the website you said?
That's it. I think it's Psychology Now. Yeah.
All one word, right?
Yeah. I can look it up and double check and make sure you post it. Right.
Terence is gonna post it in the chat. So you guys, we're gonna wrap it up. Terence can always go to Facebook and put it in the chat. We're gonna hang out for just a second here, but thank you guys for joining tonight. And you know where I got to go? I go to orchestra practice. And so, and y'all, sometimes I don't know why I keep forgetting.
Let me just say it's Psychology Today. Psychologytoday.com. Psychologytoday.com. Yeah.
Today.com. Okay, this is the site.
And you just click right on find a therapist, and then you can start choosing and all that good stuff.
Okay, Terence, look. Oh, I don't. Well, you can't see the chat. Everybody else can see the chat, but I posted it, everybody, in the chat. So psychologytoday.com. Thank you, Terence, for joining us, and we will see you apparently next week. Come on over, have some dinner, whatever. You know what, Terence?
What?
You got to talk because you and Fuller may be by yourself because I'll be away.
We got our own show.
You may have your own show.
It's on.
You know? And so, all right, we will chat. Thank you guys for joining us, and we will see y'all on next week. Take care, everybody. I don't have no music to take us out, but Papa, don't miss. All right, guys.